Okay, welcome to my video. This video is going to be all about how to get over depression and kind of how to get over anxiety too. They're two different problems, but they're very related. They're both about negative emotions. So let's get into it. So, what qualifies me as somebody to talk about depression and anxiety? Not much. It's just that I've faced these in the past and I've been able to get over really bad cycles of depression. And I think some of this advice could be applied to almost anybody. So let's get right into it. Why are you depressed? Okay, simple question, but often when you're going through depression, you might not know. You might think, oh, this is pointless, or oh, there's no meaning to life, or something like that. But let me just boil it down to something really simple. The answer to this question for 90% of you is going to be you have a depressing life. Okay? And that's the harsh truth a lot of you need to face. The reason you're depressed isn't because there's something wrong with you. The reason you're depressed is because your life is messed up in a lot of different ways. And the good part about it is if you fix your depressing life, there's a really good chance you won't be depressed anymore. And when you're in this state of depression, it will seem hopeless to you, like there's nothing you can do to get out of this. But the light at the end of the tunnel is there's like a bunch of really simple things you can implement almost immediately that will alleviate depression and will get you out of this depressive cycle relatively quickly. Okay. Uh, let's get into just the basic solutions. You probably have one of like a few problems. Like number one, you're probably unhealthy. Unhealthy. What do I mean by that? You're not getting good sleep. You are fat, and you're probably addicted to a substance. So you might say, oh, I'm not addicted to anything. But think about it. Are you smoking? Are you watching pornography on a regular basis? Are you actually doing some harder drugs like heroin, meth, or marijuana, something like that? You might call it coping for depression or self-medication, but take that out of the equation and you'll see your depressive symptoms not right away, because you'll be like, oh, I'm even more sad because I don't have my heroin or my porn or whatever it is. But after a month or so, you'll be like, oh my gosh, that was making me more depressed. Okay. And then the other parts of unhealthiness is like, if you're fat and you're not sleeping well, you're going to feel shitty no matter what. It doesn't matter if you have a perfect marriage. It doesn't matter if you're making a lot of money. If you're fat and you're not sleeping well, you're going to be depressed. Okay? So the key things to fix this: stop addictions. How do you stop addictions? You fill in the time with other things. You look at the negative side effects of that addiction. So whether it's porn, nicotine, whatever it is, research all the negative side effects so that you know every time you're consuming it, you have a little bit of guilt, a little bit of shame. Those are actually good things. Those will help you quit the bad thing that's killing you. Okay? Now, with sleep, I could make a whole video on sleep, but the key things are: go to bed and wake up at the same time every day. Don't doom scroll before bed. Don't watch TV before bed. The blue light will mess with your sleep. Don't consume alcohol or weed. That's another addiction. Alcohol, completely cut it out. Completely cut out weed. Um, Cut out those substances. You need to be in a clean state to get good sleep. And if you're not getting good sleep, you're going to not have the willpower to do things like eat healthy and work out. Those would be the next steps. And when you're depressed, the easiest workout you can start, just go for a fucking walk. You can just drop whatever you're doing right now. You're probably just laying in bed. crying or just like binge eating. Stop binge eating. Go for a walk. You can't eat while you're away from the fridge. Okay. So that's step one. Stop being unhealthy. Step two. Humans are fucking social creatures. You have no social life. How do I know this? Because I was depressed. I know depressed people. And you might say, no, I talked to somebody. Oh, but you talk to them for 10 minutes before they go to work. That's not a real social life. You need to have friends. You need to have a companion. We could tie this in with boyfriend, girlfriend, and wife and husband. One of our main functions as humans is to reproduce. You'll feel like a loser if you don't have a mate. You'll feel like a loser if you don't have a social circle. If you feel like a loser, you will feel depressed. So once you get your health in order, you're not a fucking zombie anymore. You still might be a little depressed. The next step, call the person you are an acquaintance with. If you have friends, hang out with them more. If you have family members, reach out to them. Maybe they're toxic. Maybe you have to find new people. That's going to be harder, but you still got to do it. Join a club. You might not be friends with the people in the club, but at least you'll be interacting socially with them. And maybe one of them will turn out to be one of your friends eventually. This can't be overlooked. Humans are social creatures. Your mind will tell you something's wrong with you if you don't have a social circle. Again, I could make hour-long videos on how to get a boyfriend, how to get a girlfriend, how to get married. But if you're not in a long-term relationship, you will feel like a loser. You will feel depressed. Something's wrong with me. Nobody wants me. Okay, so these are the two main categories. If you get this, you're probably set. The third category is for a subset. This isn't going to be everybody, but you need purpose. Okay, some people can fill this hole with religion. Some people can fill this with a dream. Maybe you wanted to be a painter once. Maybe you can start filling that gap in by painting every day. Maybe you really care about children and you can work at an orphanage or at a low-income school. Maybe you want to be a millionaire. You can focus on that. Become the person you want to be. So, and then again, I can't overstate, most people find this with religions. So pick one that makes sense to you. Buddhism, Christianity, Islam. It doesn't matter. This will give your life purpose. If you're atheist, you think there's no point to anything, you're going to probably lean towards depression. If you are an atheist and you can't buy into any of the religions, you have to make your own purpose. Either create a dream for yourself or pick a goal. It can be arbitrary. It can be, oh, I want to focus on my health and get a six-pack. Okay, the key with doing that instead of religion, once you get that goal, you need to pick something else. You can't just say, oh, I got there, now what? Then you're back at depression. Okay, so this is my guide on how to not be like a depressed loser. The trick is you can't have a depressing life. If you do all this and you're still depressed, guess what? You probably just need medication. I highly say do all of these before you even consider that. Your therapist will probably put you on one of these, so I would avoid them. Try to do it by yourself first, okay?